parts of England and Scotland are continuing to be affected by high winds and rain brought by the remnants of what was Hurricane Bertha. The Met Office has a yellow warning for rain for part of northern England, plus an amber warning in Scotland. It also has a yellow, be aware, wind warning for northern England and southeast Scotland until 9 o'clock BST. And floods are expected in parts of northeast and northwest England, Somerset, North Wales and Scotland. The Environment Agency has 6 flood warnings in place, meaning floods are expected, and a further 41 flood alerts for the affected parts of England and Wales. The Scottish Environment Agency has more than 20 flood warnings in place, covering Aberdeenshire, Caithness and Sutherland, Findhorn and Nairn, Moray, Tayside and Speyside. The Met Office's amber warning for rain, meaning be prepared, is for the Grampian and Highlands and Eilean Siar areas of Scotland, and there is a wider yellow warning for the rest of eastern and northern Scotland. By early Monday morning, Lossiemouth in Moray, Scotland had recorded almost a month's rainfall in 12 hours, while gusts of 50 miles per hour swept through Aberdeenshire. Scottish motorists are warned to expect disruption. Car crushed by fallen tree in Hull. Trees were brought down by strong winds in Hull. Flooding in Waltham, northeast Lincolnshire. Heavy rainfall swept the country including in Waltham, northeast Lincolnshire. BBC weather forecaster Laura Gilchrist said the UK was not quite done yet with the recent bout of bad weather. Ms Gilchrist said, England, Wales and Northern Ireland are now largely clear of persistent rainfall, but there are quite strong gusts of winds around, especially over hills. The low pressure carrying the remains of Hurricane Bertha is now slow moving and it's still lingering over the North Sea, bringing heavy rain to parts of Scotland. Within the Scottish amber warning areas we could see 100 millimetres, 4 inches, of rain in 24 hours. In the yellow warning areas we could see half that, but that is still a lot of rainfall. Scotland could see gusts of wind that are 50 to 60 miles per hour inland and 70 miles per hour over hills, especially through the morning rush hour. Monday's weather for the rest of the UK, apart from the rainy parts of Scotland, could be summed up as sunshine and blustery showers, she added. The AA warned drivers to beware of localised surface flooding and strong winds, while Police Scotland warned of possible flooding in low-lying land, roads and to rivers, which could cause delays to early morning traffic on Monday. In Wales, strong winds in the south have led to restrictions on the M48-7 bridge, but it is still open. The weather brought disruption around the country over the weekend. In Hull, trees were brought down, damaging cars and blocking roads, when what residents called a mini-tornado swept through one area. The Eilean Surrey 100 cycle race was shortened by 14 miles to 86 miles, and altered to avoid Leith Hill and Box Hill in Surrey. Yacht race organisers postponed the seventh Around Britain and Ireland race for 21 hours. The race was rescheduled to start at 9 o'clock BST on Monday. Brittany Ferries cancelled all sailings between Portsmouth and Coburg, while services on the Ceylonian Ferry, which operates between Penzance and the Isles of Scilly, were called off. The last day of the Boardmasters Festival in Newquay was cancelled because of the bad weather. Some ferry services leaving Rosslyn and Ballycastle in Northern Ireland were cancelled. A mass balloon ascent in Bristol was called off. A woman in her 60s was airlifted to hospital after being hit by a tree which blew down at Fleet Pond Nature Reserve in Hampshire. Her injuries are not thought to be life-threatening. Fire crews in Norfolk, Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire pumped gallons of water out of swamped houses, while marooned drivers had to abandon their cars as they became stuck in flooded roads. Flash flooding struck areas of Cardiff, amid heavy thunderstorms across southern England and Wales. Waves crash against a lighthouse in Newhaven, East Sussex. Waves crashed against a lighthouse in Newhaven, East Sussex. Hurricane Bertha hit Caribbean islands last Monday before dissipating over the central Atlantic. The storm now crossing the UK is a low-pressure system which has picked up moisture and energy left over from Bertha. Craig Woolhouse of the Environment Agency said that while these storms were not as bad as those from last winter, people should still stay clear of at-risk areas such as seaside promenades.